Hi, welcome to our second portrait, and we are going to begin just like any other portrait where we do we tape our paper to the table. It looks like I'm having a lot of problems. So in order to avoid doing this over and over again, just measure a half inch. I think what I did at the reason why I did that was I couldn't find my ruler, to be honest with you. So, but you can make your own ruler. Just kind of take a piece of paper, make a marking, and then use that as your measurement all the way around. Okay, that was pretty fast. It was just a gray gesso, and what you didn't see there was I let it dry before applying the second layer of gray gesso. And I am using a Filbert brush, and the Filbert brush is kind of like a flat brush, but it's just rounded on the top, and it looked like it was about a half inch. All right, so we are using that silk screening technique that we used in the last portrait. And all I mean by that is I'm going to do 2 image transfers, it appears. And so this way I can just fold the paper back up again when I need to switch out my transfer paper so my image doesn't move. And I'm starting with my white image transfer. And remember to do a scratch test before taping down, just to make sure you have the graphite on the correct side, facing down, of course. So here's a little bit of a trick that I wish I would have done for this class and I didn't do, is print out 2 copies of your reference photo. Cut them both at the same time, like, just shake them together, cut them at the same time, and then maybe staple them. And this way you can do 2 reference photos and 2 transfers, so you don't have to worry about what is what. Like, for instance, at the moment I'm doing all white with my red pen, but you can also switch colored pens, like from a red to a blue, so you don't get confused at which lines you have done. That might be a little bit easier. Actually, just switch pens. Yeah, actually do that instead. Skip the whole print out too. That seems like a lot more work. And I am just outlining the face, outlining all of my important information that you are going to need later on for when it comes time to paint. Another great thing about the transfer, as we saw with the last one, is you can use the transfer as part of your image, as part of your painting. So if you want that stylistic effect, think about how you are applying your cross hatching, in case you want your cross hatching to show through your painting. So I had a lot, like, this should have been the easiest portrait to do because the face is so close and there isn't that much information. And by doing a grayscale grisaille underpainting, all you would have to do is like really focus on your grayscale painting skills. And then at the very end, what you should do is just take the colors that you matched in Canva and thin it out with a bunch of your liquid glazing gel and just apply it directly to your finished grayscale grisaille image that you painted. Instead, I'm telling you now so you can kind of see the progression of my mistakes, but instead what I ended up doing was I applied white to my paint mixtures when it came time to doing my color glazing, and white adds opacity to your paint. So all that work I did in my upcoming grayscale painting, I kind of mess up a little bit. So I'm telling you that now before we even begin to start to paint, because I think it's good to know that I'm going to make mistakes. And by knowing that, then you can kind of start to see or guess when I start making the wrong decisions. And I even thought about actually not including this portrait into the class. But then I kind of thought, are they seriously not going to learn anything from this? And to be completely truthful to you, I think you sometimes learn more through mistakes. So this may be the one lesson where you learn the most Who knows? All right, so I just finished my white transfer. Looking good. And remember, after you finish your transfer, to spray it with your spray fixative. Doesn't matter what spray fixative you use. I think it kind of does. You want to get something that's a workable fixative that is specifically for art. And I'll tell you more about that in our next video. Okay, see you then.